What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Well, we are here at the Sacramento Historic City Cemetery located in Sacramento, California. I'm in a beautiful shaded area right now. It feels good because today started to get a little warm. So we're going to explore this little plot area here and look at some of the notable people that were buried here in Sacramento, the state's capital. And let's get on with it. Ooh, nice and shaded. This is how I like it. Let's see who we got in here. It's beautiful, manicured. There, they definitely take care of it in here. William Irvin, Governor of California. Born 1827, died 1886. It's got a nice big stone, huh? So it looks like William was the 13th governor of California. He was from Ohio, and an 1848 graduate of Marietta College. He was a teacher in his home state and in Mississippi until 1851 when he went west. He worked a variety of jobs in California and Oregon, eventually settling in Siskiyou County. He began his political career as a member of the California State Assembly, serving from 1860 until 1863. William Irvin, 13th governor. Who do we got over here? Colgan, Edward P. Born January 10th, 1856, died November 20th, 1906. State Controller was his deal. And it looks like his wife, Mary Ellen, 1860 to 1936. Levi Ratcliffe died April 21st, 1898, aged 54 years. He was the state treasurer. We got Edwin G. Waite, Secretary of State, died October 30th, 1894, aged 67 years. This beautiful stone here. Hugh H. Murray, Chief Justice, the Supreme Court of the State of California. Born in St. Louis, Missouri, April 22nd, 1825, died September 18th, 1857. W.H. Weeks, Secretary of State, died August 16th, 1863, aged 46. W.I. Ferguson, native of Washington County, died December 14th, 1858, aged 33 years, 4 months, 5 days, state senator. What's interesting about this one, I saw it from the front. This is the backside actually, but the front facing the road here. Look at that. It's a little half bust of him. Now I wonder, because sometimes I've come across graves that have stuff like this on it, and I have found out on certain graves that look like this that this would be like a death mask. So I don't know if this was a death mask or not. I'm gonna try to look a little bit more into it to see if it was. And I'll get back to you guys if I find out. Oh, here we go on this side. Erected by the state of California. Never got the clarification if this was a death mask or not. It very well could have been, because I've seen, like I said, other graves like this before. Now, this one caught my eye because of the name alone. He was a native of Ohio, assemblyman. He was an assemblyman from Butte County. If I'm not mistaken, that's Barnabas Collins is the name. Died January 5th, 1901, age 64 years, 7 months, 23 days. Now, those of us old enough to remember the old Dark Shadows TV show about a vampire, wasn't the vampire in that TV show named Barnabas Collins? That's why this name stood out. It was almost like a soap opera that dealt with a vampire back like in the 70s, I think it was. It was on TV, an old show. I barely remember it. I might have seen it in reruns, but yeah, that's what stood out to me. Thomas Muldrup Logan, MD, 1806 to 1876. Dr. Logan came to California in 1850 in search of gold. When the cholera epidemic broke out in Sacramento in October of that same year, he left the gold fields to lend his services to aid the residents of the city. Dr. Logan wrote the first medical history of Sacramento in 1872. He unsuccessfully proposed that the American Medical Association acknowledge the rights of women to study and practice medicine. Thomas Logan, MD. And here's his stone right here. Made of Charleston, South Carolina. E.B. Price. He was, it's kind of hard to see this stone here. He was an assemblyman from Butte County. Let me see, I have a light on my media mod here. I wonder if that would make it even any better. Assemblyman. A little bit, but not much. Not like a flashlight. It's a beautiful area. This gate is part of it's gone here. But again, they keep it painted up really nice. What they do have left on the gates looks like they keep up on it. This looks like fairly fresh paint, like fairly new. Like every so often they go through and paint all these railings and gates and everything else. We got it here. Oh, it says farmer here. Oh, I'm not seeing anything else on this. Just like the main stone, I guess. Alexander died January 2nd, 1859. Elizabeth, his wife, died December 8th, 1852. And it says he was a farmer. Alexander. Beautiful. This gate work is beautiful. J.D. Tate 1888. I don't know if I'm gonna go in here. I don't want to disturb anything right now. But it said J.D. Tate was born in 1827. Excuse me, died July 2nd, 1902, aged 74 to 75, according to Find a Grave. And it said he lived to be 75 years old. He died of aortic stenosis. But I love this gate here. Bottom here. Lovely cemetery. Here's the grave of Captain Henry Thompson. He died May 3rd, 1862. And there's a died by drowning at the age of 49. Monument erected in memory by his wife Susan. From the Sacramento Daily Union, volume 23, May 5th, 1862. He drowned soon after 6 o'clock on a Saturday evening. A man named Henry Thompson, who drowned on the Yolo side of the river in the rear of Washington. He owned a ranch some 3 miles from town and had started home in company with a hired man named O.H. Hamilton when on the edge of the town his hat was blown off by the wind and fell in the water. He started to wade in after it, and in doing so stepped into a hole caused by the excavation of clay for the manufacture of brick. His exertions to save himself were unavailing. Several persons in sight attempted to rescue him. James Clark, in his exertions to that end, came near losing his own life. The body was recovered in 3/4 of an hour after the occurrence of the accident. An inquest was held over the body by Justice Willard. The jury was composed of the following named citizens of Washington: W.N. Brooks, G.A. Fabricus, J.A. Crocker, John Nyson, and Van Lanningham. Wow. A verdict of an accidental drowning was returned. The remains of the deceased were buried yesterday afternoon in the city cemetery. The boats started from Washington, crossed the river, and passed through the crevice below R Street to the cemetery. Thompson was a native of Connecticut and was 49 years of age. He leaves a wife and several children in Yolo County. So Captain Henry Thompson died of drowning. Sorry, I stumbled over my words there when I was reading that article I found. But you guys get the drift. And what's cool is his wife Susan's on the front of this. She was born January 31st, 1817, died February 28th, 1881. And on the back of this is very interesting, very cool. There's an actual, I guess it's probably his ship or a ship on the back of this with an anchor up top. There's a better shot of the ship. And the anchor up top. And it has an inscription, but it's hard to make out. Here's a grave of John Bigler. Let's see here. Oh, and I was seeing this symbol before on a grave. It says he was the 3rd governor of California, placed by the California State Society Daughters of the American Colonists, August 28th, 1992. So he was the 3rd governor of California. And there is the stone reading. January 8th, 1806. Died November 29th, 1871. Beautiful stone. And there's the National Society of Daughters of the American Colonists symbol right there on there. So, May Hollister Woolsey, she was born November 13th, 1866, died September 21st, 1879. And here's a little bit of her stone right here. Beautiful stone. Yeah, people have little things they put there for her. And here's a little sign for her. It says, May Woolsey was the beloved daughter of Luther and Mary Woolsey, who lived at 916 East Street. May died just a few months before her 13th birthday in 1879. Her grief-stricken parents made attempts to contact her with the help of a spiritualist, then packed up her belongings in a trunk and sealed it behind a wall. The trunk was rediscovered 100 years later in 1979 by the home's new owners during a remodel. Today, its contents help tell the story of childhood and loss. Wow, that's sad. And again, that's her little stone right here. Very interesting stories and people so far. You know, May Woolsey, that's a very interesting story. You know, the trunk was sealed for years and years and years, and they found it, and the belongings in it told a little story about her. You know, childhood, loss. This is why I love this gig. This is why I love doing it. It's just because you never know what you're gonna find when you come to a cemetery, when you're wandering. And you start searching people, you know, on Find a Grave or Google or whatever. You never know what you're going to find, and you always seem to find some interesting stuff. It's never cemeteries. Yeah, they're all headstones and everything, but then the stories within them are always very unique and very awesome. Now this one is very, very just different looking. It's the Perkit family. And we got a Theodora Perkit, MD, a doctor. Born in Sonoma County, California, July 12, 1856. Died at Willows, California, February 8, 1923. Daughter of Richard Tiff and Rebecca Terrell Pogue Tiffay. Erected by her children under auspices of Willows Chapter DAR. It's just different here. It's got the family on the sides too. We've got Rebecca, born Ashland, Kentucky, March 20th, 1819. Died Colusa County, California, August 17th, 1870. We got a Richard, born Colusa County, July 4th, 1858. Died Colusa County, August 17th, 1870. John Richard, born near Lexington, Kentucky, January 8th, 1824. Died San Francisco, California, August 10th, 1868. Like I said, the way this is built, this is very cool. This one, different. There's a John Tiffay, died August 10th, 1868. And that. Herbert, born Colusa County, California, March 27th, 1874. Died Willows, August 24th, 1901. And George, January 18th, 1838. Died Willows, California, September 15th, 1914. Here is a section dedicated to the soldiers of the Grand Army of the Republic. I love the little statue up top. Look how they paint that as well. It's very cool. Yeah, there's a squirrel. Mr. Squirrel. There he is. He's probably going to attack me in a second. This is a very beautiful stone here. This is erected to the memory of our soldier dead. All the different graves are different soldiers in here. Our General U.S. Grant. Beautiful. And we just have all the different graves here of the soldiers. Some of them are really washed out, unfortunately. We got A.D. Miller, 1843-1904, light artillery. Stephen Maroney died June 29th, 1904, age 63 years. Top of this stone, we got the Grand Army of the Republic symbol. Beautiful plot area. Corporal Albert Baker, 15 U.S. Infantry. Well, thank you to everyone here for their service, that's for sure. Oh, we got the Ames family here. Looks like it's closed off. You can't see inside. But at the top of the door, I don't know if I can get up there, but can't tell if I'm getting anything, but there you go. Tell you what, this place is just awesome. I think off in the distance there might be another cemetery connected to this one. If I'm not mistaken, possibly, because it's so vast. But there's a whole other side over there. Maybe not. Could be wrong. Straight ahead is a mortuary chapel, 1893. Very interesting. It's closed, but so from what I kind of looked up on the online, this is a mortuary chapel and I guess archives office as well. So some kind of, you know, has a little use there, I guess. But that's all I could find, and it was some old early pictures from like the 80s or something like that that I found of it. But yeah, interesting. beautiful brick path here. Here's a private little mausoleum of the Green family, John Clinton Morrison Green. Birth, March 9th, 1852. Death, May 31st, 1869. Let me see a little bit about it. It says, bio, only son of Mrs. Mary R. Green McCormick Woolson, died at the age of 17 years, 3 months, 20 days of softening of the brain. Funeral at mother's residence at 4th and K Street. Wow. There's a Lily Green, came to earth October 11th, 1854, passed out 11 months and 7 days after birth. There's a Charles McCormick, came into earth life August 10th, 1846, passed out 7 days after birth. Wow. And it says, a voice from the tomb after mother. Who will come to weep above us, lying so white and still underneath the skies of summer, when all nature's pulses thrill to a new life, glad and tender, full of beauty, rich and sweet, and the world is clad in splendor, that the years shall repeat. Who will think of white hands lying on a still and silent breast, never more to know of sighing, ever more to know of rest? Who will care? No one can tell us, but if rest and peace befall, will it matter if they miss us or they miss us not at all? And it says not at all. Now that is on the Find a Grave bio of John Green. It looks like Mary McCormick Brown is in there, sibling Charles McCormick, and Lily Green. So softening of the brain, whatever that is. But it's very interesting. It's closed off. It's got stuff, you know, it's got a solid door here. Around back, what I just read, that was from the stone. What I just read, there's a plexiglass window here. But a lot of what I just read off of the Find a Grave bio, it was on this stone as well. This is on the back of it. But what's interesting, hopefully the lighting is right, but there is a coffin out here in the opening. Out in the open, it's kind of hard to see. It's like a metal coffin, maybe a Fisk coffin. It's kind of hard to see when you put it against the window. The other window's bad, is even worse than this. I don't know if I can see inside, but I'm gonna see if I can get a picture, and if I can, I'll drop it into the video. There's a coffin they're on shelves. There's one on top, and then there's one on the bottom there too. God, this is crazy. They're awesome. Looks like on the bottom one there, it could be original flowers too. Wow. There were just bars on the windows, and then I guess the cemetery put plexiglass over them. But if the plexiglass wasn't there, we'd be able to get a way better view of them. Well, how about that? Wasn't that something? Like I said, I'll reiterate it. That's why I love doing this gig here, doing this cemetery exploring, because you find all kinds of gems, treasures, hidden treasures, things you weren't expecting, all that. So that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon. Therefore, you can be notified of all of my future uploads, guys. Once again, this was a pleasure, and I'm still not done yet. I'm still seeing some pretty cool mausoleums off in the distance. All right, guys, talk to you soon.
Peace out.